See this guy? He's the male version of a black widow. A black widower, maybe? He has a nasty habit of unaliving spouses for insurance money. His name is Omar, and in 2008, he's living in Fort Lauderdale with his then girlfriend, Angie. So one night, police respond to a reported shooting in downtown Fort Lauderdale. When police arrive to the scene, they find Omar holding Angie's lifeless body in his arms on the ground. Omar explains that Angie was shot by some homeless white guy. Omar claims him and Angie were driving from some party when Omar decided to stop the car to tie his shoes. And when he was tying his shoes, this homeless guy walks up to the car and just starts blasting. Omar, upon hearing the first shot, bolts away from the car, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because why are you running away from where your woman is in danger? That's kind of weird. But anyway, when Omar gets back to the vehicle, he sees Angie's lifeless body and calls 911. And the cops aren't necessarily fooled by Omar's story. It's just that they don't really have any evidence to kind of prove that he's lying. I mean, Omar has no weapon on him, and the forensic from the scene doesn't really disprove anything Omar's saying. Here's the thing though, a month before this incident, Angie took out a $1 million life insurance policy on herself. And of course, Omar was a beneficiary. The life insurance company certainly doesn't want to pay out on the claim, but they end up going to court and the life insurance company has no choice but to pay. Omar ends up getting $400,000 and the remaining $600,000 went to Angie's then 17-year-old son. After that whole ordeal, Omar got his money, changed his last name, not only left Florida, but left the United States altogether and went to Jamaica to start a new life. And within a year, he was married to this beautiful young woman named Simone. Now, Simone was a successful businesswoman who really wanted to start a life and build a family with this man. I mean, she was one of the ones who could have had it all. I mean, she wanted the career, the husband, and the kids. And she was determined to make it work. Now, I don't think Omar told Simone about his past with Angie. He claimed that he got his money from an insurance settlement that stemmed from a car accident. For the first few years, the marriage seemed to be going pretty good. On the outside, they looked like a warm family. They even had a couple of children, but behind closed doors, things weren't going so good. So Omar had been cheating, and not just once, and not just physical cheating either. I mean, Omar was buying cars and opening businesses for his side chicks. Despite it all though, Simone really wanted to make this work. For instance, in a text message that she had sent during Omar's cheating, she wrote, "Omar, I want you. I want my family. The kids are hurting. I'm hurting. You're hurting. I don't know what else to tell you. I want my man, but you have to want me as much. Whether you like to hear it or not, you didn't just cheat, you were disrespectful. But I told you I want my marriage. I want my children to have their parents under one roof." Damn, man. She really fought for her marriage. But it seemed like Omar either didn't feel the same way or they just couldn't get on the same page. So they eventually agreed to separate. Simone agreed that she was going to leave the house for a while and go stay with some family. A few days later, she came back to pick up her children. So check this out. When she's inside, getting the kids ready, packing their bags, Omar comes outside and punctures one of her tires. Now, when Simone comes outside with the kids to leave, she notices one of her tires is completely deflated. So she decides to call a cab. And she figures, I'm gonna leave the kids here for now. I'm gonna go back to the crib, get some stuff together so I can come back, change the tire, and get the kids and leave. So as the cab is taking her to the apartment complex and the cab pulls up to the gate, 4 dudes on 2 motorcycles pull up alongside the car. They get off the motorcycles and they're armed with, heaters, and they just start firing on the car. Simone is hit 19 times and the driver gets hit a few times and he's unalived right then and there on the scene. Simone was rushed to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. And sure enough, Simone had multiple insurance policies on her. One for $21 million and one for $80 million. Omar ended up receiving the full payout for the $21 million policy. Oh, and I'm pretty sure those numbers are in Jamaican dollars, not in US dollars. So if my math is about right, 21 million Jamaican dollars should be 120,000 US dollars. Someone in the comments, school me if I'm wrong. Interestingly enough, while this man was going to the insurance office to file the claim on his dead wife's insurance policy, he himself was lit up. And he caught a couple of hot ones. Unfortunately, he survived though. People like that always do, don't they? But overall, this time, Omar wasn't getting away with it. Not too long after the incident, the police found 2 of the shooters. And once that happened, the end was inevitable for Omar. And he knew it was a wrap too, because he tried to make arrangements to leave Jamaica on a fishing boat. At trial, Omar's plan was fully exposed. I mean, they exposed his back and forth messages with the hitman and all that. He was cooked. He got 2 life sentences and isn't eligible for parole for 46 years. And the Fort Lauderdale police have reopened the investigation into Angie's death. Rest in peace to Simone and rest in peace to Angie.